Okay. Now I would like to teach you the topic of designing the architecture. Actually, this designing of architecture, okay, can be implemented, okay, in four phases. The designing of the architecture should be in the form of four phases. Now, so coming to the first one, architecture in the life cycle. Actually, where is the designing phase in a life cycle? Okay, there is a life cycle for each and every project. What is this life cycle includes? It is a process of, okay, step 1 to step n for developing of a software project. Okay, whenever we want to develop a software project, there is a processes, there is a steps or actions what we should perform in that project, step by step process. Clear? So that is the life cycle of a project. So where is the designing part into that life cycle? And coming to the second one, attribute driven design. This is one kind of designing technique, okay, for our architecture. Next, third one is forming the team. Okay, after the designing we are going to form the teams, okay, to do the work or to continue the project work. Next, last point is creating a skeletal system. So before going to start a implementation, first of all we need to create a skeletal system for the designing. Okay, this is about the four parts in the designing architecture. So coming to the first one is what it is, life cycle. What is the first one is life cycle. So in that life cycle, architecture life cycle, evolutionary delivery life cycle, how we design the project life cycle from step by step. The first step is software concept. What is the first step here? Whichever the concept we have chosen, okay, to implement our project, that concept is called a first step, or otherwise it may be a problem statement. What it is? It is a problem statement. Whichever we are going to provide a solution in the form of a software project. Next, second one is preliminary requirements analysis. So if we want to develop a project, so what are the requirements we need? Okay, so gathering of these all requirements, specified requirements that should be presented in this second step. Coming to the third step, in third step of a process, design of architecture and system core. So this is what we are looking for. Design of architecture and system core. So in this designing part, what what we are going to do? So in this designing, first of all, develop a designing version. Okay, which one we are going to implement the design? Okay, the design is in the form of which kind of designing techniques we have used there. For example, those are either UML diagrams or sequence diagrams or something, related to the complete UML diagrams, or it may be a year diagrams. Which kind of versions we have chosen, DFDs or CFDs, or new technologies we are going to implement. Okay, that thing. So here first to develop a version, and after developing that, first one is deliver that version. Okay, next, send that version to a customer, and we'll wait for a customer feedback. Okay, whatever the developed architecture is or design is, okay, completely fulfills the requirements of a customer or not. we must show the design to a customer or to stakeholders. Whoever the given the order to us to prepare a project, to complete a project. Okay, after showing to them, so we'll wait for their feedback. If their feedback needs more and more, or if they asked for more implementation things, then you should incorporate that one. Okay, you need to include that changes also. Okay, he may ask for some changes into the design. Okay, I don't want to this particular page here. Okay, better that last page, okay, make it as a first page, or otherwise first page you could develop at the last page, and some functions, some modules. Okay, whatever. Okay, include picture here and remove some picture here, and also some contact details, don't show the contact details here, better to put in some other page, or like that he may give some other suggestions based on the design whatever the architect designed for the project na. So we must show that design to a customer. The customer, after that he may give some feedback about that particular design. Okay, after taking that suggestions also, once again we should include that one. Again we need to develop a new structure, or develop a changes into that particular existing structure. So it's a completely life cycle until unless we'll get the acceptance for a customer. Okay, designing need some, some more time. Why? Because first we should present one design in front of a customer according to his requirements, isn't it? He may ask for the changes on that for design, and once again we'll modify that design. Okay, again and again, it may be one time, two times, three times, we don't know. That is based on the customer satisfaction. If the customer is satisfied, okay, we will deliver the final version. We will deliver the final version to the next unit. What is the next processing unit? After designing, we are going for coding. Okay, after the final version of a designing, okay, after getting permission from customer and other stakeholders, then we will send that project details to the coding unit, which means team project managers, team leaders, like that. After coding step, we will send that total project to the testing unit. Okay, like that we are our total project is processing. Clear? And coming to the second one, attribute driven design. Actually, ADD in the sense, ADD is an approach to defining a software architecture. What it is? It is an approach to defining a software architecture that bases the decomposition process on the quality attributes the software has to fulfill. Which means, actually what it is a attribute kind of designing technique. Okay, by using this we are going to develop a software architecture. How it will develop the software architecture? Okay, by decompose the total project into the modules, or modules into the submodules or functions. This process is called a decomposition, and it is a recursive decomposition. Okay, what it is? It is a recursive decomposition. Okay, to solve a problems, to what, to solve the, to execute the modules each and everywhere. And this ADD is used to satisfy both quality requirements and functional requirements of a architecture. What is the motive of this ADD architecture? Okay, why we are using this means it is used to satisfy the both quality requirements. What are the quality requirements we need, okay, at the time of designing, as well as functions. Okay, each and every function should work properly. So whatever the requirements we have at each module, that also satisfies by using this ADD design. That's why we have chosen this kind of design. Okay. And also it is the extension for the most development methods. It is extension for the most development methods. Okay. And what is the output of this ADD is it is a several levels of module decomposition view of an architecture and other views as appropriate. Okay, it means it will show the outputs, each and now we are going to divide a input into number of mod. If we will send the total data to this ADD unit, it will divide the decompose the total module into submodules, and each and every submodule has a subtask. Okay, after finishing of each and every task, it will release, it will give us a one result. Okay, so those results are also in the form of modules only. From where we get that outputs, execution of each and every module, it will give or it will result some, okay, outcome. So this is the output of ADD. After that we are going to again, if necessity of the project, we are going to add, we are going to conclude those all outputs into a single output, and we'll get one result, final result, isn't it? So this is the process of ADD. So the input of ADD is a set of requirements, whichever we want to uh, send for getting some results. Actually, where it is located, this ADD is located or positioned in the life cycle after the requirements analysis. For example, suppose where this is the life cycle of a project where it is located after the requirement analysis. This is the requirement analysis phase. Coming to the third phase, what is this third phase? Designing phase. So this ADD is located at this place to get ready a, okay, project design. Clear? And coming to some steps of ADD, what actually ADD will perform, how it will perform, these are the two steps here. First step is choose the module to decompose. So what we have to do there, and what it performs. First it will perform a module chosen. So this choosing of module will be based on the constraints, conditions. So which module has which kind of rules and regulation. Some designing of something is has some constraints, and designing of page 2 is also having some constraints, and it will be based on that rules and regulations, based on that conditions. Here we are going to choose a module. So what it needs, what that module needs to do, okay, what action we need to implement in that module, right, what output we are expecting that module. So according to that, first of all we should choose a module to decompose. And also here we are going to consider quality requirements, also quality and functions of that module also. Okay, you should consider. Okay, We need to consider quality of that project too. And coming to the second step, refine the module according to the below steps. What we have to going to do? Refine the module according to the below step. Coming to the A in second step. So what he in this step here we are going to discuss about what is important for decomposition. So now we are going to perform a decomposition task. So this decomposition task, what it needs exactly? Okay, some here we are going to choose some drivers to decompose this particular thing. Okay, so we need that one. Coming to second part, first of all, we need to identify the child modules. Okay, to implement some quality designs. Child modules in the sense, okay, main module can be divided into the number of small modules. Each and every at the position of each and every small modules, there is a need of quality. Then we are going to implement that by adding a quality attribute at that particular module. So that's why we are going to choose a child modules. Okay, to implement, to add some qualities to that particular module. Clear? Coming to third point. Third point is initiate modules to allocate functionality from the use cases and representing using multiple views. Now we are going to take the functionality, draw the use case diagrams, and you could show the what is the each and every what function of each and every actor there. So we can implement by using use cases. So by showing the designing of use case only, we can tell the function of each and every actor, each and every user into that particular design. Okay, so that is the third point. Coming to the fourth one, D, define interfaces of the child modules. So what are the child modules we have chosen now? For the child modules also, we must to define the interfaces. Okay, after defining the interfaces to child modules, we should go for a documentation. Whatever we have done from from first point till now, you should perform or you should document everything. Okay, later the last step is repeat the steps whatever the seen before earlier at each and every module, okay, to fulfill the quality and functions at each module. These are the steps of a ADD. Okay, it's already 1:57. Now I'm going to stop the class here itself.